You don't have to tell me everything. You don't have to tell me your name. We could sit down. I never ask anybody's name when I strike up a conversation with them. I never get personal. It's always as if, if you're gonna do that, like on an airplane, don't grill people on what they do or what their name is or anything. Just, I say things like, do you smell flowers or something like that? I'll go, no. Or, are you getting the chicken? No, I don't need chicken. All right. That's an appropriate conversation. Sometimes it can get more like, do you think that cloud looks like a pumpkin? Yeah, it looks a little bit like a pumpkin. I think so too. I was just thinking the same thing. I like pumpkins. I do too. All right, Frank. Those are good conversations. But when people start saying, where are you from? What do you do? It's like, what are you? Are you writing a book about cops and you are one or something? I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't want to be rude, but goodness. Those are things, I haven't gotten that story straight yet. And when I say it out loud, I'm going to say it with all sorts of baggage. Like, maybe I'm between work or something. I don't know how to describe myself. You're asking something. Can't I just be me and then you guess? I'll just be myself. And then you just figure out what you think my social status or anything should be. Then you can figure out the level of respect you'll give me. But don't try to shorthand it by having me give you my resume. I can't do that for you. I'm just going to have to be whoever. And you maybe won't be able to tell by the way I dress or move or anything. It's up to you. If you've got to gauge my worth as a human being by all these other things, I don't know that I can help you. I don't want to help you, in fact. That's silly. I can't get you, I'm going to tell you right now, I turn to people, and I'm going to tell you right now, I can't get you tickets to anything. So even if I don't know who you think I am, I've been recognized a couple times in other cities by friends. That's fun. I love that. They'll yell your name and you go, oh, I'm famous. And you go, oh, no, it's my friend from my hometown. What are you doing here? I was thinking the same thing. What are you doing here in a big city? All right, I got business here. I don't. But it's good to be recognized, even if someone doesn't know who you are. I like to be recognized as a human. Sometimes I'll do that by going to one of those space cantinas where you're the only one of your species, and another human will come in, and then they snub you, and you go, what? I'm the only other human in this space cantina. Everybody else is descendant from, I don't know what, echinoderms. But, hello? You could at least come over and say, hey, what part of humanity are you from? Earth? So you at least want some acknowledgement, I guess, as another human being. But I don't know. I don't want anything beyond that, I don't think. And if that baseline was that we all treated one another with honor and respect, you wouldn't need any distinctions. Then you could go off and achieve as little or as much as you want, and there would be much less problem if being a human being was enough. Oh gosh, we had to go and get jerseys. Now they're all numbered and named, and we're doomed. Oh, that's what happened. Humanity was fine. It was millions of years, well, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of years ago. I was there, and someone said, let's start a sports team. And the minute they went out and they got a jersey, they all put names on the back, and some people didn't like their nicknames, and some people didn't like the number, and oh, God, it was a mess. But up until then, or it might have been the thing with the hats. I'm not sure when it all went wrong, or if there's really a wrong. It's just going. There's no wrong. We're just doing what we're doing, trying to survive. That's a very low bar. That's fine. We'll jump over it. We'll do hurdles instead of limbo like we're going to do. You switch the game. You don't agonize about how low the bar is. Oh, that seems... You are a defeatist. I don't know what that is. So that's great. I don't have to rebut it. The word but was in there. I love being with you. I just like being with somebody else sometimes. Now, I enjoy being alone. I enjoy some solitary moments. I have them when I sleep. I like that I'm mostly alone. I close my eyes. Suddenly, the world is way too populated when I dream, though. Where'd all these people come from? I guess there's a lot of people I've brought inside my head with me, and they're just going to stay there. So be careful when you, who you bring into that, let in there, especially the decision makers. It's a lot like it could be like a Facebook group or something, because there's a level of people you meet, and you let some of them be administrators in your brain. So make sure, because they can change the content. They can delete stuff off of the timeline and everything. So when you do that, there's a board of directors in your head. Screen it, because it's very important, I think, to keep control of your head business. I go and sometimes I do inventory, but I get distracted so quickly. Also, I can't see. It's like having a store where a lot of the storerooms are locked, and you go, oh, all right, I hope there's nothing perishable in there, because I can't get in there. I mean, sometimes the door will fly open and a can of something will come flying out, and they'll say, where did that memory come from? Woo! I went to look for it and I didn't see it. But now it hit me in the head like a can of regret. Oh, they fall off the shelves like that. All these things that I've stored up there. I barely know what's there. I say I have a mind palace, but it's not. It's like I have a mind palace, but I also apparently have a mind storage unit across town, and I forget it's there, and I don't even know what's in there. And I can't visit. I can visit it, but I'm like, I don't have the key. Where's the key? It's all craziness. It's craziness inside your head. That's because you didn't design it. That's the problem. See, it's a franchise. It's a type of thing. You moved into a McMansion. Well, this is not the way I would have designed a mine McMansion. I'm sorry. It's the way it is. You're going to have a ceiling so high you can't clean it. I mean, it was planned, but not by you. You've just inherited. I'm sorry. You're always going to have ears, or you're always going to have a nose, or there's not much you can do about it. You're always going to have kidneys. And what's the kidney equivalent? Game room? I don't know. That doesn't correspond. Bathroom? I guess bathrooms, because of pee and things. I am a human being first. Secondly, I'm also a human being. Until you get down to 10 or 11 do I start being distinctly something else, I think. Well, I mean, I'm animal first. Well, I'm a living thing. You can reduce it like that, but human comes up mostly in conversation. People don't ask me if I've done dog things. So that's why I'm largely seen. I don't really have an identity just as a creature, because I don't go to those intergalactic cantinas. So I'm almost 100% seen that way. And the reason it's maddening when you encounter bad emotions from people, bigotry or negativity, they know what it's like to be a human, don't they? I mean, you hope they do, if they've been alive a little while. That's why it's frustrating. So how you doing this to me, something you don't want done to you? How you getting around that? Do you not know about that? Do you think we're that different? I honestly want to know. How are you thinking this through, that somehow you're going to do something to me that you would never abide being done to you, and would beg me not to do to you? So I just don't understand it 100%. Tell me the rationale. And then they begin to speak. They move their finger to their lip, and just like I said previously. It's hard to come up with that. You have to be willfully blind sometimes to be cruel. Or maybe you're just so full of anger and frustration and so infuriated by injustices that are done to you, that you no longer feel like you can be sensitive to the world. Say, I already took my armor off and bad things happened. I'm not going to fall for that again. This time I'm going to come out swinging. I'm going to put my armor on. I'm going to grab my sword and I'm going to cut off heads before they can damage me. That's the way a lot of people are coming at the world. I'm not sure that I can blame them. I'm not sure that I can tell somebody who has had a violence done against them or something that they should chill out. I mean, I know also what it's like to be a human, the way you rage against injustice, rage against the pain. I understand that. I understand that too. Gosh, that's not to say I want, you to rage at me. So understanding and doing something about it are two different things, I guess. But I do realize what it's all about. I think not what it's all about. That's a stupid thing to say. I think I realize that there's something to realize about being a human being. I also realize I perhaps shall never realize that thing. I understand only that I am walking through a path in the woods, going from what I think is A to what I think is B, a straight path in the woods, and that I habitually digress, walk off that path, tell myself I am now lost, although I didn't know where I was going to begin with. But going off the path is sometimes the most amazing thing, wandering around these woods, understanding that if I'm going to spend my time in them, I might as well know them. I know at some point I'll have to exit them. The woods are your life, so that I want to explore them at least. I shall never figure out these deep, dark woods, but satisfying my curiosity, going to places that delight me, both literally and figuratively, are what makes all this futile experience bearable to me.